This is Rust. We're on PlayStation 5 taking a look at this open world survival game. For context, I've played most of my time on the Xbox, but I was also able to hop onto the PlayStation side because, like DayZ, I want to see how the survival experience is facing off on both platforms. Might be a weird thing to note, but basically over the years I've covered both the Xbox and PlayStation side of DayZ, and I'd like to do something similar with Rust because, it's kind of in the same veins in terms of the experience and the style that it provides. So what exactly is Rust? Rust is a multiplayer only experience. You can create your own server, but that is still something that is like under coming soon. So there's other people in the server, and what you're doing is you are trying to survive. The game is vicious, it's friendly, no one wants to be your friend, everyone wants to kill each other. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes. You're out scavenging for supplies, building structures, and trying to live across a fairly decently sized map experience. And the maps do vary from, kind of map or area to area. The structures are somewhat the same. You'll find, similar things in each of them. And the structures typically have an element of radiation to them, so you actually need to get certain supplies in order to be able to, kind of survive and deal with certain challenges. So we're actually moving out of the cold area because that's an element that impacts it alongside your food, your water, and, your health and all that. This is not optimized for updated for the next generation, so it's just 1080p and it's supposed to be 60 FPS, which it does feel like it. It's weird to mention that because, so basically what happened was in beta it was running at 60. Then when the beta ended and there was a bit of a pre-launch thing, if you paid for a premium, they had dropped the frame rate down to 30, and it's supposed to be fixed with this latest update, which it seems to be. So I thought I would mention that. And I'm also going to mention that while I like to provide a very similar kind of opening start experience for players in regards to my gameplay, I have actually gone in and adjusted the FOV up to 90. Usually it's at 60, which I'll quickly show off here. Hopefully not getting attacked by somebody. And this is like how it will regularly look. And I just wanted to give you context there because I know a lot of people, they want to see what they're getting when they go into play. But I do prefer having basically the wider FOV in this one, so I'm going to quickly turn that back. I just wanted to show that off. So you can chat with people in the game too. You can click in the right stick for like a contextual wheel with a bunch of different options. So you could be like, oh sorry, that didn't work. I didn't click that properly. I have hatchet. You see how that appears on the corner of the screen? That's to let people know. You can actually just like talk to if you'd like to, chatting. I've kind of turned that off though because, when you're doing video stuff, you don't want things to kind of play through. But like I said, it's a survival game and it's a very hostile one. And it's also not really the best optimized. So the game isn't upgraded, for the more powerful consoles in general. And there's also some other issues, such as like some crashing at times and pauses, if that makes sense. Like the game will momentarily pause at times while you're playing. It seems to not have popped up as much on the PlayStation side of things, but that's not to say it's a non-existent matter, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's also like a little, like I find it quite frustrating just in terms of the issues that I've been facing. And this is a new update too, because they keep like really fastly updating this one towards the full launch of it. So I don't know if they've perfectly fixed. I was having some issues where I was trying to reconnect to servers and those servers would vanish. So I'd leave a server, I'd favorite it, and then I'd go to play it again and it would be gone, and you could see from like, the recent type of players list that the server is still open, but you can't access it and stuff, which can be frustrating. It's also a game where things are decaying constantly, so if you have a housing structure, you actually need to build a special sort of toolbox in order to handle that. Sorry, you gotta go over here. This one. So you build the tool cupboard, and you actually have to put supplies in it. Otherwise, it's gonna break. Your like whole housing thing is gonna decay over time. And there are server resets as well, and then you've also got people that will constantly destroy your housing area. Like I said, people are not friendly in this game. everything is out to get you. There's also these weird experimental type things going on, like the guys with the suits are definitely ones to stay away from. But like I said, it's really, really hardcore. It's not a friendly game. It's also smart to kind of, like, if you can work together with other people, because that's the best chance you're going to have at making stuff. And I'm not saying go out and try to be like friends with people in the game. I'm saying bring your friends into the game setups that you're doing, because otherwise you're just not going to be able to keep your structures and stuff going, and it's just going to, you know, disappear. We are lucky we're at a point where more people have been playing, and that means that, you know, stuff in the environment is more plentiful, such as like food resources. When I was first starting in the freshly updated or early access type release, there was, you know, none of these crops everywhere. But now, since people have been playing, they've been planting a lot more of these, you know, kind of like the pumpkins and stuff, so that people can get them. Did it really plant? No, it just moved the pumpkins. So the game's got a day and night cycle. Like I said, there's different biomes that you can explore and see as you're going throughout the world, across the map. So that we just, you know, obviously we spawned in the snow area. I died over here. And there's the hot spot, and you got to deal with those, and the rad zones. But the inventory is also pretty clean. You know, I think it's pretty good for managing things. Am I getting attacked? Sorry, just like weird sounds. Oh, there's a lot of those guys over there. Oh, and there's crossplay too, and you can choose not to do crossplay if you don't want to. But like I said, wide range of things you can make, from like clothing to weapons. There are guns, you know, kinds of different melee things. It's pretty simplistic to build like a housing unit and stuff. I don't even think I have this on my Xbox One as the table. That's kind of nice. You find the blueprints, and the blueprints can unlock new things for you to make. Yeah, I don't even think that I have that Xbox side. It's kind of like a frustrating type of game. And I just wish it would have been a little bit more optimized for the platforms. And I was well aware of the fact that it wasn't going to be, you know, kind of optimized and cleaned up for the later consoles. I was just also hoping that, you know, that it would be a little bit better put together for the base consoles too. Because, you know, obviously that's where the better consoles are playing it from, is through the backwards compatibility. What is with the rad poisoning here? Sorry, where am I that I'm... Oh, the satellite dish. Oh, crap. That's not good. So you got to watch out for that rad poison, because it's basically just going to eat away at your health. And then you got to eat stuff to keep that kind of going. Like, I do enjoy in this one that a wooden barricade. Oh, cool. Nice. That the food and stuff isn't necessarily the biggest deal. So if you look at something like Ark or DayZ, you're constantly having to deal with the fact that you need to keep your food and your water meters up, otherwise you'll die fast. In this one, it's a lot more casual in that regard, but it's important to take care of those meters too, because that's how you can kind of, like, you know, basically either like come back, or you can keep your, you know, health and stuff going, and your screen doesn't get like desaturated looking, so it's harder to check out what you're doing. But basically those meters kind of have little smaller bonuses, but it's not like it's something where you actively feel as though you are dying. Oh crap. And there's like a lower kind of experimental discussion thing in regards to those guys going around, really, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, please leave me alone, I don't want to die. That's where I'm saying that everything is hostile and trying to kill you. I'm so dead here. Yeah, I didn't think he'd get triggered, but I am so screwed. I'm trying to eat as fast as I can to get my food replenishing, but it's not looking good. I've got quite a bleed going on. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, where it gets all desaturated and stuff. I'm trying to get over this way towards kind of where the desert is, but there's a nice little mountain Alps, kind of, well, not Alps, but like a little mountainous area that I like to go to, because I find that that's a good spot for sort of building. But yeah, your primary thing when you spawn... Oh crap, I should have grabbed another rock. I am... Ooh, okay, let me see if I actually have enough to actually craft something good that I can use supply-wise. Okay, what do we need? We need wood. So yeah, building, because I haven't really talked about that too much, and or like collection, is based on basically smashing stuff until you get items. So there's rocks, like rock nodes, and there's trees. And you can collect things faster by hitting the X's or the gleaming marks on basically the rocks. The rocks have gleaming marks. And there's different elements to it. You start out with your rocks and your wood, and then eventually you get the supplies to make like a smelting thing, and then you're able to smelt your ores, and it kind of goes from there. It's actually quite an interesting system in regards to how that's all handled, and it's just a smaller tier thing. Like I said, it's a game where you're constantly having to, sort of upgrade things and keep things going. We're going to make a hatchet because my rock is going to break. Although we do need something to collect the rocks from. We can always find them on the ground too, but it's a lot harder to find rocks on the ground, at least in my experience. So we're also going to make the building plan, which is not necessarily super important, but it's how I want to show off some of the building elements of this game. Because like I said, you build structures, and I think it's a pretty simplistic system for how you build stuff. And we do have, well, I have a guide up on the channel where you can kind of get like a full base building tutorial if you need that to fully understand what it is. Actually, I wonder if we can place this and see. So yeah, this is kind of like building in general. So it's got a really sort of snap system to it. Very easy rotating, so you can adjust how things are kind of going on your area. What is this? Sorry, this is weird. That's a weird thing to come across. I think I just got that out of one of the crates I opened, right? But anyways, it's sort of a really brutal survival game where people are not your friends. They're definitely out to help you. But I think, if you're kind of like into the Ark and the DayZ, you might find this one to be kind of interesting to a degree in regards to the systems and what you're doing on it. It doesn't really have much of a point to it. I should also mention you can get different spawns by putting down the beds that you make out of the hemp. You use those as spawn points, so you can see that we can make I think it's under, this inventory. We can make a sleeping bag with the hemp that we've collected, and then we place that, we name it, and it's like when we die, we can spawn there. I just like to mention some of the elements of how you kind of play the game and stuff, because I think that's important for understanding what the game is like. So when you die, you do die. It's permadeath, but you can go back to your body and get stuff, and it's got like decent density to it. I just wish it was a lot, kind of cleaner, if that makes sense. Like, this is very sort of like rough around the edges and jagged and stuff. And this isn't unique to the PlayStation platform. I want to make that very clear, because at the beginning I did say that, I've played on both of the platforms. It's like this on both of them. It looks basically like identical in regards to like the 1080 and the 60 there, the jaggedy edges and stuff. That's just kind of how it's basically running in that. But my key was to kind of take a look at both of them and give you an idea of how the game is kind of running on both the platforms, because I know some people are only going to be, well, obviously if you're a PlayStation user and you're looking here for like a PlayStation review, that's hopefully catering specifically to your sort of market. What? Really a backpack here? This guy just straight up left a backpack? Where did all the stuff go? There it is. Okay, it was just lagging, sorry. Stone hatchet. Oh, wow. That is very neat. Huh. Sorry, I'm just like, collecting this stuff. It's really interesting. Door keys. I wonder why this was kind of sort of left around here. That looks way cooler. Oh, and animals are not friendly. You get like animal fat off of them and stuff, which is really cool for making the what is it called? Like the chemical type thing. Sorry, I don't know if I picked that up. I didn't pick it up, but you can craft it. It's the low grade fuel. So you need the animal fat for that. Then you get these tools, and it's a lot easier for kind of collecting resources and that you need in the world. Obviously, which is helpful. And then you can make different things, such as a weapon. I always suggest making a spear right off the bat, because I think that's going to be a big deal in regards to early defense. Because when you just come across anyone, their first instinct is, going to be to kill you. I haven't really come across anybody that's friendly. And you got to remember, when you sign out, you actually need to put your body in a safe place, because people can come and just kill it and take stuff from you, like I did earlier. It's a real dog-eat-dog world out here, needless to say. It's not about being friendly, that's for sure. I think we actually move that there. So this is the building option. So this is the blueprint, is how you build. So you get like different things, such as like a floor and then you can place, well, that's not right, sorry, the foundation. So you can kind of place it where you want, and you build up your structure. It's usually better on like flat land because it can be a little bit awkward up here. But I just want to do it just for like showing it off. So, you know, you can build piece here, and then you can just like easily snap it together. It's really simplistic, and then you get your like walls, you know, you can rotate them and stuff, and it's really not too hard to make structures. And doorways and frames, some stuff you actually got to build in your inventory. Oh, that's a bad person over there, and I've got a lot of juicy stuff, so I'm going to kind of stay a little bit away from them, and hopefully they don't come after me, because I'm not done talking. But yeah, there's a lot of different structures, and you can break down houses and stuff really easily, so you're like really never quite safe, if that makes sense. Usually use like a spirit, kind of a waste of this item, to be honest, just by doing that. But you know, you can break stuff down decently easy as you go and kind of experience the little areas. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a really hardcore sort of game. It's not like the smoothest and the cleanest, but you know, a lot of people really love these survival type games, and I think this is another option that I think caters to, well, basically another sort of market within that industry and stuff, like within the survival genre and that. So I hope this was kind of helpful in understanding it. Is that a real player? What is that? Okay, hi. I'm hoping we have a nice little back away and I leave and we don't have problems, because they are definitely better equipped than I am. Although it kind of looks like they maybe want to shoot me or something. Huh. Anyways, like I was saying, most situations are very, very bad. Like, I actually should have went after them and started hitting them in order to grab their stuff, because they would have done the same. They were probably just like, that was a weird situation. Because I was both the attacker and just also someone that was like really casual, calm about it. But there's not really a whole lot that you're specifically doing focus-wise here. You know, you don't necessarily have kind of pure goals, as to say. You're just sort of surviving. That was also weird. Everybody's been so hostile to me, but yet these people, well, I mean, it's still kind of hostile. I don't think we're really necessarily being buddies. But it's about going out, exploring, finding materials, trying to build a house. You're probably going to die a lot off the bat. I do have a tips and tricks that talks about it too, if you need like help on controls and that. Because like I said, it's a hostile world. It really, honestly, isn't that friendly. But I think it has some interesting features, and I hope they work on, you know, sort of improving the game and cleaning things up. And, you know, if we can get some next-gen versions on this and get it running really nice looking and, you know, fix those crashes and stuff, I think that they could have something pretty decent here. I just find that it's also, like, sort of the worst of humanity, and I honestly just find it, like, really frustrating and tiring at times, because it feels like it's almost tedious, right? And I try to balance things out too. I try to look at it from the perspective of some people really love this type of game, whereas at times I sort of find this to be just really draining in terms of like the work involved and what you have to do. And then there's just constantly people like not being friendly. Because I've played DayZ, like I said, for years and stuff, and I found DayZ people to be, you know, incredibly hostile. But I'd say this game so far has been like even more hostile than that, like significantly more like aggressive in terms of how other people, you know, sort of interact and you know, fight against you and stuff. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh wow, why is this actually open? Is this like somebody could be setting a trap in here, or is this just like accidentally open? I got a bad feeling about this. But you can build some neat structures, have interesting houses, have intense battles with other people. Looks like people are fighting over there. This door is locked. So I'm going to steal the metal scraps and just kind of maybe sneak out of here. And yeah, and then it gets like really, really dark and hard to see. And then if you use your torch, you're kind of lit up like crazy and everybody knows where you are. And there's a lot of fine-tuned elements to this one in regards to survival and trying to keep alive and, you know, dealing with situations. I think like I said, it's definitely got some neat moments to it, and it'll probably surprise you. And you know, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, it won't be necessarily for everyone, but I think for some people they'll really enjoy kind of what it has to offer, and they'll want to play this a lot. Yeah. Hopefully they can smooth out some little technical things, but so far it's been decent after the update on here, so that's kind of a nice thing to think about. See, yeah, there's somebody inside there. Building blocked, probably because it's too close to their building. You know, it'd be funny to put the spike door right outside their house. uh, you look at like whatever my structure is, which is not really anything too well put together, but I hope this kind of, see, it seems like the fire's glitched or something. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't setting. But yeah, I hope this has given you some context in regards to the world of Rust and understanding, what exactly this game's all about and what it provides, and, some of those technical details so that you can maybe get out there and, I don't know, have somewhat of a good time going around and trying to live. I thought I might as well put this down considering I found it. Because somebody's totally going to destroy my body and take all the cool stuff I have. I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't.